Oh, shit. Right. I forgot that I actually ran the intro. Just trying to get GPL to run in the right way. Good afternoon. Because at the moment it's failing to do so. I wanted to get it running through Gem Plus, because running through Gem Plus I can get the head movement plugin to work. I really don't know what the difference is, because I get it to run in windowed mode with a program called DG Voodoo. That's D for Delta, G for Gamma, whatever. And it works if you're running it straight from the exe. But it doesn't seem to work. Maybe I've got to add another directory to. Maybe I've got to add the GPL directory to it. I don't know. Wherever I put it. I was doing some research on building a new PC. Looks like a new PC is going to cost $3,500. That's obviously if sorry, I'm just trying to do two things at once here. If I top spec it. And resolution. Take off that. I don't know if that's going to work. I bet when I start it from the exe, it's going to start straight away. I mean, I suppose send it to setting it to full screen. No. Right, we're going to run the exe and it's going to work straight away. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm able to click out of it, so that's sufficient enough for me. The mouse is very, very, very sensitive when it's in the window. I guess because it's such a low resolution. Right. Okay, so welcome to Saturday. I'm just going to double check that my sound is selected the right way. because I found out that I thought that I thought that when I was checking some of the replays before, the game sound wasn't there, and I was like, oh my god. So I've got all of the season 4 replays from UKGPL. One of them is a Spa replay. I'm guessing I didn't save one of them. But the rest of them are player replays. Something happens after Rouen, and we'll get to that a bit later on, because it's not under my name, and there's a reason why. And I think, well, I'll go through that a bit later because it's a little complicated. Right. So let's check back on the website, because it gives you a rundown of rules. Season 4. So, Season 4 was our first attempt at a new short season approach aimed at increasing driver turnout and expediting the rate at which drivers are promoted and relegated into the division that most suits their abilities. The season was held over 6 rounds, with each driver worst score dropped. And I think in Season 3 there were 3 low score drops. The token system was obtained from Season 3, of which Division 5 wasn't the division I was in Division 5, wasn't applicable for the token system. The token system was retained from Season 3, with some additional restrictions on the upper divisions, and there are some restrictions placed on the use of Shift R. So, this is probably when the penalties of drivers Shift Ring and then not doing the stop and go and stuff like that. That's what I was probably confused with before. So again, we're going into Season 4. I'm still in Division 5. These numbers are going to be so confusing. I do not know anything that happened in this series, and I've tried to open the results screen and tried to kind of not look at what happened or where I finished, because I want it to be completely spoiler free for myself. So yeah. So Kyle Army, first round of 6. Spoiler alert, I never won a championship. So let's put that to bed straight away. So let's see what happens. I'm assuming that we're going to have very, very similar drivers in this race as we had in the last season. So we're still in the year 2001. So this season's going to run from 2001 to 2002. So checking the date of this one, I believe it's the 28th of October 2001. So who have we got on the grid? So, we've got Simon Geimer. I haven't seen Simon Geimer on the grid for any of the races yet. So, I'd never known the reason for this, that it seems to do drivers near you and then it puts one right at the back. It's completely out of your... I've never understood. It might mean that just everyone in between hasn't actually appeared yet, but we're only interested in the ones that are around. They keep disappearing. Hopefully the sound is okay. It's not too loud. Let me know. So we've got Simon Geimer behind us. I believe we're probably going to be in what, 1, 2. Because I think there's 2 yet to appear. Or maybe 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're in 8th. So we've got, I believe that could be Andy Neville. Anthony Neville, who's in an Eagle. So these are some newcomers. I don't know these people. S. Bixon. Not sure. He's in a Lotus. Joe Bardley was in last season. He's here in this season as well. Duncan Hogbin. He was in last season as well. He's in a Brabham. And it looks like Joe Bardley's in an Eagle. And I'm in my trusty Ferrari. So let's see what happens. Hopefully this Kyle Army is better than last season's Kyle Army. Oh, what a start! What a start! Did you see the reaction time? Maybe it was just better because it was better than everybody else, but the reaction time. So the flag's not gone down yet. It's not gone down yet. I've released the clutch already. And I'm moving. No one else has moved yet. That was a cracking start. I'm not going to make up any places because I'm surrounded by Eagles and Lotuses. Ah! All wasted. Because I was penned in on the... Jeez! That was a bit annoying. Someone... I don't know where the breaking point is. It's about here. But someone coming right into your field of view and then braking. I have a certain disdain for people who do that. And that's my good friend Doug Ellison. Naughty boy. Naughty boy. And considering he locked up as well. Now, fun fact. Doug Ellison, he's involved with... it's not NASA. I think he is involved with something to do with space. He got involved with is it the Perseverance rover? I think, or was it Opportunity? I can't remember which. One of the two. He was involved in them, and I was quite shocked when I watched a documentary on Amazon that he was actually interviewed, and I was like, I know him. So, we don't think much of his driving in this round, though. I mean, am I going to get penalised for that? But he did a complete 360 and carried on. Right, it's supposedly we're in 10th place. And it all worked for Nort anyway, because he went shallow and ran on the dirt. Right, so who are we up against now? This must be Duncan. No, this is Kev Hammett. We didn't see him on the grid. I wish the camera was a bit... Oh, yellow flag. We've got some spinning Eagles. Oh, no. Oh, what in the hell? What in the hell happened there? I suppose the server replay might show me, but what in the hell? So I don't see anything. I see a car off. The driver's just come to an absolute stop. I've got no way of avoiding them. And it's just chaos. So, first First race of the season, and it's chaos already. I don't know whether I gained anything or not. I think I'm at the back of the pack that I was at. I'm being shadowed by a Ferrari. I don't know what Ferrari that is. So that's Matt Smith behind me, apparently. Well, that was a nasty gear change. No, I'm 9th. So I basically kept my position from the start. Oh. Naughty, naughty. So Joe Barsley's going to get a slap on the wrist for that. He ran wide. What is up with everybody today? You can't keep it on the track. That's 7th. Now, remember last season, I was in 7th, I think. And it just kept going bad. And I get knocked down to about 11th, and I went up to about 9th, and I came back to 11th again. And whoa, we just noticed that one. 6th. So who are we following now? Oh, it's our friend Paul Villiers. Fun. I got some fun facts to tell you about some battles with Paul Villiers. I mean, if I got a jump start, would it tell me straight away? The jump start's a thing. I can't remember what you had to do for a jump start. The game would tell you maybe to come in for a stop and go. So I think that says 5th. I think. Text is so small. Yep, it's 5th place. I think we might have Paul Villiers' number there. Yep. Up to 4th. I've got 24 laps of this. Hopefully I don't spin on my own. Hopefully there's less self-spins and just mistakes from myself this season. But I'm not to know really. This is all a blur. I don't remember any of this. But the what would be the top 3 are probably miles away. So Kay Burner. I don't know who Kay Burner is. I think that might be Derek Dell in 2nd. And Michael Bell in 1st. So they're already halfway up the straight. They didn't even get caught up in all of that nonsense. So I bet the helmet is static. It's a shame that I can't get the game to run normally. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's something. Maybe I'll try the other new utility, but there's something about running through Gem Plus which doesn't make the game run or use the settings that I've got in the DG Video app. And I tried using that other app that GP Laps suggested, but I couldn't get it to work. It just would not. It would not. It either would not run windowed, which it said it was making it run windowed, or yeah. But trying to run old games. Oh, fun fact as well. I managed to run NASCAR 2003 the other day. Ooh. Oh, I thought that was a car. It's just a black spot on the tarmac. This might be a lonely race in 4th place. Is that a flag? Is that a flag? So NASCAR 2003. I can't remember when I started league racing with NASCAR. I remember I joined a European NASCAR league called Escores. Not sure what it stood for. But we used to race at something like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, something stupid. And I'm not really a good NASCAR racer. But I got the game to work. I had to turn the force feedback down a lot. I imagine there's probably lots of setups and tweaks you have to do for a direct drive, but I had to turn it down to something like 15%, something like that. It definitely didn't feel as kind of, fidelity of force feedback nowadays is, I don't know, monumental in comparison. But I did a 20-lap race at Atlanta or something. Kind of interesting. This kind of goes to show that you do rely a lot on the feeling through the wheel. And you kind of notice how, I think, how far the tyre models and stuff have come as well. Because I generally I felt like weight in the wheel, the effort just to kind of hold it where it was. But I don't know. You didn't really feel the. You didn't really feel like you were running over anything. So it kind of felt a bit numb, as in the feeling of the road, which I think is well improved in modern Sims now. So we're well away from anybody. We're still in 4th, but there doesn't seem to be anybody particularly around. So we're coming out of turn, is that 2 or 3? Maybe that's Kevin Burner there. So there's some Ferraris up there. I don't know whether the token system is going to be active in season 4 for us, because we're basically the bottom league, the bottom division, plus the support league, I think. So believe it or not, there are people worse than us. So I didn't get promoted last season. I didn't actually run through the positions, did I? Maybe I'll do that after this. I'll show you what Season 5 looked like. Season 5, Division 5. Season 3, Division 5. But it looks, kind of looks like, thankfully, I can't be blamed for any of the accidents so far. So maybe I have improved, or maybe maybe that's wishful thinking. But there seems to be a void in pace here. So the leader, or the fastest person on the circuit, was actually someone that was starting behind me in an Eagle. Is doing a 121.5. I'm in the 123.1. Although I did do a fastest lap of 122.1. The other awkward thing was playing on a flat screen. It felt very, very weird to play on a flat screen. But you can't play NASCAR 2003 in VR. Well, I say that you can with some workarounds and things, but it is basically it's not true 3D, so I'm not really that interested. Plus, you'd need to buy an extra utility called Vorpex, and I'm not really interested in fake VR. Oh, I spoke too soon, didn't I? So all those crappy gear changes. So I couldn't shift R until the track was clear. So I had to let 3 people through there. So we'll see what the shift R policy is. So I've screwed up the engine. I've dropped down, I think that was 3 places I dropped. So I knew that I did make a couple of misshifts at the start, which probably didn't work in my favour. So now I've got a really heavy car. So who passed me? Paul Villiers passed me, of course. Simon Garmer passed me, and Matt Smith passed me. So I've got some catching up to do. I think I'm down to 7th now. We'll see if I have to pit for this. To get into the pit lane is so awkward here. Nope, we're not pitting, so that's not a rule. So I was in a good 4th place there. Ruined by my heavy right foot. We're going to be racing tomorrow. So I'm going to be behind the wheel tomorrow. We're going to be coincidentally, we're going to be in the same place that the F1 is, aren't we? We're going to be in Sao Paulo. Hopefully no one posts any spoilers in chat whilst we're racing. I always hate that. But I've never raced a GT3 around Interlagos before, so shall be interesting. So I lost 15 seconds on that lap when I shift hard. I need to get back down to the 122s. I'm doing 124s at the moment. I can kind of see that I am turning the wheels quite a lot just to get the nose in a bit. So it does look like I've got quite a bit of understeer. It's just not drifting. When I watched a couple of races offline, whoa, steady, I did spot that when you do have like the helmet movement on, it does add quite a lot to just the dynamics of the race car. Because it's just not normal for the head it's just gonna stay in there. This car behind is not letting me get away, is it? Got a different moderator this season. I can't remember what his name is, but obviously Ben was fed up of moderating to Division 5, so he moved on. but I forget who the name of the moderator is. But it does look like I'm being caught. I don't think it was Phil. I think it's someone else. I could actually probably take a look, can't I? Oh, I don't want to press anything just in case it shoves it out of the window. I'm scared that it's just gonna fail. But we'll look after the race. It should tell me who the moderator is. Come on, Neil, you can go faster than this. 122 is not 124. That's a hell of a line. That last corner is quite deceptive of how fast you can actually take it. You have to take a slow entry, but you can get on the power quite quickly. And it doesn't matter what game I've played it in. I've always struggled with that. But it's just the way that it is. It's a little bit off camber. It's kind of going a bit uphill. But as I said I was going to do, I tried out the 1967 F1 mods. So I had 3 of them. One was called F1 Legends. One was just called F1 1967, and the other one was the 60s Custom Series. So I tried all of them at the version of Kyle Army that I could find, which is the 1976 version, which I believe is technically the same layout. And there was only one mod that was kind of drastically slower. I mean, my benchmark time was a 120.9. One mod I could only get into the 123s or 122s, I think, and I just could not feel like there was any more on the table. The tyres just felt kind of like Grand Prix Legends. They were a bit slidey, you know. It definitely felt quite... Oh, we're going defensive. I think the Eagle's going to just have too much power. Oh no, we're going to beat him into the braking zone. Oh, we locked up. We fucked it. Well. Oh, I think I accidentally made the other guy go off there. Don't tell me I've blown the engine again. So that was Kev Hammett. So he saw a spinning Ferrari. Oh, he was very unlucky there. Bit of netcode. Bit of netcode. I did hold the brake, I think. But what happened? Why am I not going anywhere? Oh. I feel guilty. That's what it is. It's guilt. Because I thought, shit, I've taken him out. It was guilt. So we're back. We're down to 10th. It's the same story. Kyle Army just... So who... did I let the right Brabham through? That's the thing. Yes, I did. So we got Jacob Schmidt. We got S. Bison, I think, or Bixon. And Kev Hammett in front of us. And there's Doug Ellison, the one that we took out at the start. So I should be on the throttle ages ago. So I tried another one of the mods, and it was like I was driving on a different track with a different car. I did a 113 So way too much grip compared to what you'd have with Green Legends cars. Ooh. I was lucky then. So thankfully other people were having a nightmare, not just me. So I was down to 12th. I think I'm back up to 10th now. So Kev Hammett was in the last season. Oh, someone else has had an accident. Oh, here comes Doug. From way far back. I'm lucky I saw him. How far back did he come from? Because that was a dive, wasn't it? Deary me. Right, where do we brake? There. That's where we brake. That's where we brake. He's back here. I'm already on the brakes. That was his self-preservation, I think. So lose a place, gain a place. Deary me. It was kind of like a break and hope there coming into that left-hander. Because I was kind of like, right, there's the turn. And then suddenly a Honda was like... So I think I must have seen it out on my periphery. God, what a nightmare this race is. So we're back in the 124s again. Oh, that Lotus cannot stay on the track behind me. Thankfully. Doug's off again. So we're down to 11th. This seems to be my place. This is where I finish at Kyle Army. It's 11th. I'm cursed. Is the sound balance okay? You can hear me over the engine? I don't think much of my gear changes though. 17 of 24. It's just been action all the way. There was kind of this slow period when I was 4th. And then I bottled it. Now I'm hoping that I'm better now, that I don't do these types of things. I don't think that I make a lot of mistakes. I'm just slow sometimes. It's going to be an interesting... we'll see whether the new moderator we've got, whoever it was for Season 4, I wonder whether they are more strict. Because on the little glance that I did take at the championship table, there was a lot of red on it. And red signifies penalties. I don't know if it was next to my name or not. So from what I remember, Season 3, in the same division, I came 5th. I did get docked 10 championship points for a penalty, which is well deserved. I don't think I was anywhere close to the top 4. I was just too inconsistent. And that was a 1:22 last lap around on lap 18. Hopefully these two squabble ahead. As I said before, some of these guys I'd actually met or have met at various motor shows and get-togethers and stuff. So I've met Doug, the guy ahead in the Honda. Bad or worse, isn't it? Just when you think I was catching them. I'm guessing Kyle Army just doesn't suit me, I guess. Too many off-camber corners. And now I'm just making all the mistakes. It does seem from the outside that when things are going badly, I got flustered and just kept making mistakes. And I was thinking back as well that obviously the lack of display we had, if we didn't put enough fuel in, we would only know when we ran out. There was no like fuel gauge or anything. I'm just looking at the dials on the dashboard there. I don't know if one of those is... Well, I think one is oil temperature on the left, one is water temperature. I don't know what the dial on the right is.
Lap 20 of 24.
This is a race to forget, isn't it? I don't know whether they adjusted race distances as well. Because there were some races we were racing like for 45 minutes or so. But we haven't been racing for more than half an hour yet. And the race is nearly over. That'll be Doug. So we're back in the top 10. Is that Doug? No, that's Jakob Schmidt. So we've actually got... Have we got a battle on our hands for the last 4 laps? Oh, he's coming into that corner quite shallow, isn't he? Yeah, I did wonder there. The position didn't change as I went over the line, so I was wondering whether it was 10th. But let's see if I bottle it. I don't actually know how many people are racing. I assume it's going to be something like 15. I can't remember what the restriction was for Grand Prix Legends. Track limits. Left the track, gained an advantage. Oh, I felt the need to go defensive, but I fucked it up. I'm feeling under pressure now. Whoa! Oh, it's getting slippy. I don't know if the Honda has the legs on the Ferrari on the straight. Oof, kept your foot in there. That could have gone completely wrong. In the slipstream, it's a bit too quick. Now let's not lock our tyres. Not having any of that, thank you. That was my corner. I don't care what you say. Turned in like I wasn't even there. I had the right to be there. Oh, I've bottled it. I've bottled it. Put up the defence, did all the things I had to do, and then just span on my own. How depressing. Back down to 11th place. With, I don't know, is this... This is S. Bixon again? Or what his name is? Bison? I don't know. I think that's lap 23 complete. He's just going to breeze past me on the straight, right? Oh, he's just going to spin. Hooray! I feel slightly better that I'm not the worst. There are some people that are worse than me. So this is the penultimate lap. We've got no hope of catching that Honda ahead. Down in 11th place. Just hope we don't spin it again. Oh, that's a car. It's a Lotus of... Oh no, he's a lap car. So showing me in his mirrors. He should have just kept on the racing line there. So I could have just drafted up. Bit scary. Him going shallow on that. And normally kind of as well, you think if someone goes shallow on that last corner, you think that they're coming into the pits. So you're very, very wary. Fastest lap time of the race, 1:20.95. I can only manage a 1:22.1. I did get down to the 1:22s, but very rarely. But I'm very interested to see what the moderator says. I think the particularly around this part of the track on lap 1, I think that's going to be a racing incident. I mean, it's not like I could slow down when I wasn't aware that the cars were coming to a complete stop, I think. Can't stop on a dime. And there we go. How disappointing. That might have been frustration. Do you think? That might have been frustration. Right, let's come out of the game. Okay, let's have a look at our report. And so it says Chief Moderator Mark Mercer, but that's not the moderator of Division 5. Oh, it is Phil Flack. It is Phil. You're right, Ben. I made a mistake there. Because I think I was looking at all the divisions last time. I think Phil Flack is probably a bit more strict. So, Derek Dell came away with the win. Simon Geimer started in 11th place, but finishes second. But he got the fastest lap of the race. And Michael Bell gets third. So, it's Kevin Budgeon. Paul Villiers is Paul V. We've got Matt Smith. It is Andy Neville. Kev Hammett in 8th. Duncan Hogbin in 9th. Jakob Schmidt in 10th. And me in 11th. You see a team here. WP Motorsports. WP Motorsports. I believe it's a team. Weirdly enough, I think it might be a team with me and Phil. But I don't see Phil Barbier in this race. It says that Doug actually came last, 4 laps down. I thought he was just behind me. Maybe not. It's Scott Rickson. That's what it is. Right. So I'm trying to block the below bit so I don't see the next results. Oh God. Gosh. Phil. Right. So Doug gets a great start, passing several, then swaps sides of the track in T1 and brakes quite early, collecting N. Wood, who is taking it slowly. Having already overtaken several cars, Doug should have been content with where he was on the left and taken T1 gently. So he calls that a turn 1 incident. Right, so this is probably the S's incident. S's lap 1. Kev loses it and stops in the middle of the track, then immediately attempts to spin turn, setting off a mad crash, involving most of the field. It would have been wiser to roll off the track backwards, not stop. A penalty might seem harsh. I don't see any penalties here much, just warnings. Maybe because it's the first race. Penalty might seem harsh, but when a car starts spinning, you should be thinking of avoiding a pile-up, not saving yourself. Note about the incident. Quite a number of drivers seem to ignore the yellow flags. A few got there too early to see them and piled into a back, Spa 98 style. There were a few rapid shift R's and many little crunches as people rush to get away quickly. If you see the telltale signs of an accident up ahead, go slow. The people who were backed off for it most likely made it through and gained several places in the process. Those who charged in lost places and time. In one clear case, took out Andy Neville, who was going slow. So he did get 5 championship points, Doc, for that, and I'm not surprised. So Kev Hammett overtakes Duncan Hogbin and slides wise and gets nerfed into. Yeah, that's the incident I think we saw. I think it happened in front of us. So we're not in off lap 1 yet. Just trying to see which ones I'm involved in. Overtaken by... Da, da, da. Still on lap 1. We're on lap 4 down there. No, I don't see anything involving me. I mean, there wasn't really anything involving me per se, was there? Apart from that little collision with Jakob, which I would say is maybe a, what's the word? Or what's the phrase? It's what's that phrase when it is a sense of things to come? Yeah, things might happen a bit later. Let's just say that. Right. So that was round 1. Round 1. Which was bloody carnage, wasn't it? Bloody carnage. I don't know. So the races aren't necessarily in the order of the championship. So we've got Monaco now. Yes, a nice easy track next. This is obviously the first time that I would have competed at Monaco in an online race. So what's the worst that can happen? I'm not looking forward to this. Again, I don't know what happened. I know there is something that happens at Monaco, but I distinctly remember it's not this season. So yeah. Right. We'll wait for car to go to the grid. Gosh, it looks tight, doesn't it? Oh no. There's lots of Coopers. I can see quite a lot of cars ahead. Maybe I applied the plugin, which helps with that. Although they disappear. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear. Who we got around with? We're in a Cooper. I don't think I want to even attempt going in a Ferrari from Monaco. So Paul Villiers is in a Cooper. What car is that? Is that a Cooper? That's a BRM, isn't it? Yeah, that's a BRM. So Doug Ellison behind me in a BRM. Let's see how aggressive Doug is this time. So we've got Paul Villiers in front, and then we've got Andy Neville just in front of him. There's someone missing on the grid there. Phil Barbier, my teammate, I think. Is the it doesn't look like third on the grid, does it? That looks like about 5th. And we got Kev Hammett and we got Derek Dell up there. So there's a couple of cars missing, but let's see how lap 1 goes. Oh, who was that just appeared? Michael Bell. So he came 2nd last time out. So we're not too far back. I just think this is going to be carnage. Ooh, not a very good start. Bit of wheel spin. I don't think I like that outside line there. Right, we're going shallow to the bend. Someone's already clattered the wall. Oh, I think I either saw someone up the inside then, or I scared myself off the track. So we're starting off in 9th place apparently. So we've got 30 laps around Monaco. Yikes. So miss out the big hump there. Look up a bit. Slow going, very slow going. So you can't actually. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Doug. I slowed perfectly for that. I slowed perfectly for it. I was thinking, oh, this is brilliant. Okay, everyone stopped. Okay, we just wait for everyone to get started and then bonk. And then I'm in the tyres and then I've obviously got to wait for every single person to go past, haven't I? Yeah, you can't do that, Neil. Oh, for God's sake. Not a good start. And the person that caused the incident is in front of me. I think a lot of people are showing their inexperience. Wanting to get going as soon as possible and ruining other people's race. So, Jakob Schmidt is all the way in the lead there. I think I'm last in 9th. There's going to be a... I think Phil is going to throw the book at a few people in this race. I just think I want to stay out of trouble back here. Oh, I'm back here in 12th. I'm guessing only 12 people wanted to take part in Monaco, maybe. So I think I'm last. Because no one passed me when I was well. Yellow flag. Honda parked. Derek Dell, that was one of the leaders. One of the leaders came a cropper. It says it's 4th place he span out of. So you can see the distinct lack of dynamic lighting. Oh no, 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 no! I could see that was going wrong. Did someone spin in sympathy? Or was he already there? What happened to him? Did he do the exact same thing? Yeah, try and take it full throttle. Near enough. And spins around. And then here's me coming through the chicane. I just didn't get the line right. Bounced off. I nearly saved it. But I think I was very lucky that the car actually ended up in the right direction. So we've got a faster car behind us. There's another car. We've not got that corner right at all. So who's having a spin? Who's this? Simon Geimer. Wasn't he far up as well? So we've gained a couple of positions. We are now in 10th. This season's not going well so far, is it? So I did end up racing the guy in front, Simon Geimer, in subsequent series in the years to follow. I saw someone. It's just going from bad to worse. I can't remember whether UKGPL races were evenings or not. I think they were. Like Saturday evenings. I got that completely wrong. You can really tell that I haven't put the practice in. It's either that or I just hate Monaco. But what's kind of cool is obviously the 66 version that we got in R Factor 2. You can notice how close the modders got this version to what would be a modern version, if you will. Can't remember there being the pavements in the 66 version. I think they are. Maybe. But I remember there being a project, something called Monaco Rocks, which was a project of pooling together lots of artists and modelers and what have you, just to concentrate on Monaco, just to get it right. That was close, and I'm not sure. Got the line right this time. I'm not sure what version of Monaco this is. Who it's by, because it came with the installation. But I'd imagine it looks a lot. Oh, is that Doug again doing his slam it in reverse? Or was that Simon Geimer that did that? Interesting. Maybe that was frustration that he'd spun at the last corner, he slammed it in reverse instead of. So we're now apparently up to, I think, 10th? This has not gone well. Only 5 laps have gone. We're in the 133s. Our last lap was our fastest. The leader is doing 130.5. So even though I've got a clear track in front of me, I'm still not able to put the lap times in. I mean, if you get the line right and you're over the hill and you're... I didn't get the speed right for that corner there. You can just have the car settled and you can gun it through the chicane. But if you haven't got the line right, then you're just on the back foot. And even with the added depth perception of car looks a handful of VR, it's still very hard to judge to go through that chicane at a really high speed. I always find like I slow quite a lot. You forget how narrow this place is. So we're back to the place that it seems that we're always destined to finish in at the moment, which is around 10 or 11th. Looks like I'm not not really willing to go down to a lower gear though. Oh no! Thought we had it, but no. Thought we had it, but no. We were so close. So that's 2 spins we've had at the chicane. I can hear there's people not far away because you can hear them going up the straight. Yeah, it's just... sometimes you get it. Did I get wheel spin in... No, the car's damaged, look. You can see that the wheel is slightly pointing in the wrong direction. I didn't know that you could actually get, like, mild suspension damage. Yeah, the car is a handful. And if I'm running without force feedback to tell me this, how I'm even keeping it on the road, I don't know. So you can see that it's listing to the right when I'm trying to go straight. I mean, it was spinning up in 3rd gear. You never get both corners right. Yeah. We're going to shift R because it was just getting too much. Come through the chicane flawlessly and you just can't do the... Is it the gas works? I think that's the corner. You don't really expect the Cooper to be spinning up like that. I'm just not able to handle it very well. Maybe at this point I've decided I've still got like 2/3 of the race to go. Let's just not try and go full blast. Slower is faster at Monaco. Or something to that effect. I mean, there's no one... I can't see anyone behind me. The person in front, Matt Smith, is already at the chicane. And Simon Geimer in the BRM is at the hairpin. So, I'm not at risk of being overtaken at any time soon. Well, at least I lifted off this time. We found our braking point for this corner. I think this is probably one of the most complicated, well, in modern day anyway. You know, you can get away with it in these days. In days of the 2000s, in modern day, this track is probably the hardest to model. I mean, because of obviously the intricate buildings and things. I would imagine. Obviously, this Monaco is heavily reliant on flat photographs for the scenery and stuff. But making a historic version of it nowadays, you need to model all the buildings, which I imagine is quite tough to make Monaco 66. I mean, even though Monaco 66, it was a release track for R Factor 2. How did we get away with that? How did we get away with that? That was like a drift and hope, I think. Still haven't found a breaking point for that corner. There are kind of a real lack of braking markers for that last part. You can see I'm not really taking a wide line at all for turn 1. Still in the 133s, we can't break into the 132s, unfortunately. But as I say, yeah, the Monaco 66 was a release track for R Factor 2 back in 2015. At least I know Spa came out straight away. I think Monaco was the other one. I mean, it doesn't look too shabby nowadays. It hasn't really been upgraded at all. It still doesn't look too shabby. It did a good job. It doesn't have all the latest bells and whistles, I'd imagine. I think it has wet weather effects in it. This is going to be a very lonely 20 laps. I don't think we're going to catch anyone unless people have more spins. So we're at the main straight. Matt Smith's at the top of the hill. And that's the leader that's coming out around the last corner. So we're nearly going to be lapped, which is depressing. I should do a vote, shouldn't I? A prediction. To see where I finish. Because it doesn't really... It's very hard to tell. I think you only get the position once you've kind of gone through the first sector, I think. So it's... I always clench when it goes through there. How we're even gonna... I don't know. Because even though I kind of pride myself that nowadays that I am a better racer than I am a qualifier, I don't necessarily go forwards in these races. I think I started around 11th-ish, and I am 11th. You can actually use that pavement. If you hook your right wheel up onto it. So I've been told. I don't think I could ever do it. Maybe it would be nice to kind of note down some of the lap times of these races to see if there was really improvement. Was I actually getting any better? Or was I plateauing at my lap times, you know? Again, I'm still in the 133s. Cannot seem to go any faster. Freebie. Well, I could hear a car going up the straight, but... Oh, someone's pitting. Simon Geimer. That must have been a... It said in the rules, unlimited use of Shift R. So I wonder what that stop and go was for. I don't think he was close to anybody. Because I thought you kind of you might have taken like a voluntary stop and go for like an accident that you felt that you caused. So we're up to 10th, I believe. Because Simon wasn't the driver but in front of us. It was Matt Smith in front of us. He was just coming across the line. So something must have happened to Simon. I think some of the modern car mods, but they obviously look a lot better than Grand Prix Legends. But some of them, you know, you would take a BRM thinking that you'd get this nice sound of a was it a V12 or. But it sounds completely different, so you don't know where these people are sourcing their sounds from. I believe, particularly like the F1 Legends mod, I think, that was as close to Grand Prix Legends as you can get. And I think there was a lot of discussion about the legitimacy of where it was sourced from and whether permissions were granted and things like that. Because manners cost nothing. I think lots of people would be happy if their work was built upon, you know? But the least you can do is ask. I don't think that's I'm as close to a 132 as I maybe am going to get. That's 133 dead. So that's Matt Smith coming around the hairpin. I am miles away from it. And there's Jakob at the top of the hill, and I'm down the bottom of it nearly. So we're at half distance, lap 15 of 30. I think you can hear the Honda coming down the hill as well. It's maybe just as well I didn't take part in Monaco in my first season, wasn't it? If this is the state of Monaco in the second season. Now that everything's calmed down, it's pretty boring. What's the external camera look like around Monaco? I imagine it must be very hard to place your camera thinking, well, having everything in the way, you know. It nearly disappeared and then the camera changed. Steady there. Oh, I've done a 130. Oh, I've done a 132 point. Actually, looking at it, my best lap is a 131.6. When did I do that? Track must be getting faster somehow. Or it must be just used to Monaco now. 132.3 was my last lap. So as the fuel load comes down, although I do have a much heavier car than probably anybody else, because I did have to reset the car after the hairpin. But again, it was only in the first few laps, so I'm not missing too much. So there is that. I remember they had to actually have a steering hack, a low-speed steering hack for the game, because there was a couple of corners that you could not get around if they had oh, that was good hooking up of the front wheel there on the curb. You couldn't get round the hairpin unless you had low speed. It changed your steering input. If you were like steering all the way, and then your speed would go down, the steering radius of your tires would be more. So at high speed, it's normal, but then at low speed, you can turn a bit more. Which may have been a product of, I don't think a lot of wheels on the market probably had a big wheel range. I mean, you don't have like you didn't have like the 1080 wheels that you have today. And I'm wondering at this point, maybe I'm on a G25. Maybe. I don't know when I switched from a Microsoft Force Feedback. So again, this is 2001. So 2001, particularly in the latter half of 2001, I would have been at work. I would have been working. I have my, well, I was gonna say I have my own flat. I don't have my own flat. I'm in shared accommodation. I'm sharing with 5 other people in the building, which I hated because it caused so many problems. It's just weirdos. Weirdos. So that Honda behind me is actually going to be lapping me. I didn't have a lot. But it just pulled off before the tunnel, I think. Yeah. Didn't have a lot of luck when I was sharing accommodation. I mean, there were. It was like you had your own room, but you had to share the kitchen, and you would share the kitchen with 5 other people, and bathrooms. So you'd, if you wanted to shower, you'd have to make sure that you didn't sync up with somebody else, you know. But there was always someone in the building that was just, I don't know, wanting to cause trouble or did cause trouble, but I won't go into that. Whoa! So still in 11th place. So the fastest lap of the race is now 129.24 by Phil. So I'm wondering if I'm actually going to be lapped by what I think is my teammate. That's what I think the WP stands for. It might mean Wood Phil Motorsports. But his surname is B. So I don't know why. I don't know if that's it. That's my only kind of explanation of what WP might stand for. Which doesn't make sense. It should have been NP Motorsports. But lap 19 of 30. Oh dear. Not going to get it slowed down. That's a hell of a shot though, isn't it? I've got to get back into my Grand Prix watching as well. I finished watching the 1994 season. And I want to get watching the 1985 season. I enjoyed the 1984 season. Although I had to put up with the only available footage I could find was from the American broadcasters. I think it was ESPN, and I do not like the broadcasters for ESPN. Or I don't like the broadcast style, perhaps. The whole package was just, I don't know. They spend more time talking about the sport than actually the footage of the sport. South the cab. Am I anywhere close to getting... Is there someone behind me? So Paul Villiers in second. He's at the hairpin. Oh, we missed that. So what did we do? Did we just get it all wrong over the hill? Let's see. Looks like we just didn't quite... Yeah, we took... Oh, we're missing a wheel. That's our second shifter. Well, dear. I thought Kyle Army was bad. This is bad in other respects. This is more a case of it's all my own fault in some respects. Yeah, you forget you're on cold tyres and a full tank. Can't drive the car like you could the previous lap. At 21. I don't think we're going to get any further, you know, unless someone else falls off the track. It's just been an absolute nightmare. So I don't think, probably at this point as well, I'm probably still sitting up at a desk with my wheel strapped to it. I think it was a while before I had the cockpit donated to me. I say cockpit, it was just someone put a car seat on some like pieces of wood. I think that lasted, what, when I moved house in 2000 and... I even moved in 2003 or 2004. I think it was around about 2003. Because I was sick of shared accommodation by then. I'd had my fill. So I went on to a flat all on my own, which was a lot bigger than anything you'd get nowadays. I think I'm living in a... maybe the rooms are kind of the same size, but I'm paying double the rent. So back then, I paid... Well, starting off, I think it was 515, I think. Which at that point was... Well, because I was working, it wasn't too bad. They did raise the rent, but the rent has literally nearly doubled since then. But we are talking, what, 20 years ago? That was scary.
Oh, we're not going to make that.
We're not going to make that corner. It kind of just looks like I'm losing the will to live at the moment. And I've always wondered about the Cooper as well, that what... It's got a radiator at the front, but I'm still wondering what that thing down the middle is. Because I think there's a couple of versions of the Cooper in this game particularly that don't have that. So I don't know what it's to do with. Because it's sitting directly on the radiator. And there's several cars that I've seen in real life of this era. I think I've seen a BRM. I've probably seen a Lotus. There's a when we were at Goodwood. When did we go to Goodwood? 2000 and... I think it's 2002. A racing friend got to sit in the BRM. I think we were having a little chat to John Surtees. And my friend just asked, "Can I sit in it?" And he said, "Yeah, go ahead." It's like, great. And he got to sit in a BRM. I don't know if they'd allow you to do that nowadays. But I thought that was pretty special. But I don't think I've ever seen any of the Ferraris or Coopers or... There's probably some at the Donington Museum. And there's a few cars up at the Brooklands Museum as well. I remember having a visit to the Donington Museum, which was kind of cool. Got to see Damon Hill's championship winning car. Took some photographs with a really crappy camera that didn't have a flash on, so all of the pictures are really, really crappy. Yeah, I'm really hammering that corner. At 24 of 30. About to start our 25th lap. This is our third shift R. I think at this point I've probably had enough. That car behind me, I believe, is not for position. He's coming to lap me. I just want this race to be over. I think we probably will do rounds 3 and 4 as well. as we're not racing today. Let's see if he catches me at the right place. So you see that Cooper behind doesn't have that thing on the grill. No, we're going to go through the tunnel. Yeah, see, it doesn't have that thing on the grill like this one does. I don't know whether you actually got the choice of what Cooper you drove. Whether you just picked a Cooper and it just gave you either the green one or the blue one. Can't remember. We hate that hairpin. We're really struggling with that hairpin. So I believe that is second place. Yeah, that's second place. That's Paul Villiers. Lap 26. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. I wonder if I've got bent steering as well. Let's have a look. It doesn't look like it. Right, we know we've got someone behind me lapping me. So are we going to give way at the tunnel? Yep. So we don't want someone following us through the chicane. It looks like our steering is straight. At least I had some opposite lock on. It does look like I've completely given up though. We fucked it up! I just took out second place. I'm going to get a slap on the wrist for that. I mean, I've been struggling with that hairpin for laps. But it did look like I'd knocked his wheels off there. But I don't know whether he did a quick shift R or not. But there's Phil behind me. That's my teammate. Looks like Phil is lagging a bit. I mean, in kind of hindsight, I suppose, because I was braking down for this corner and I got it wrong. I don't know whether I could have avoided that, tried to go to the outside. Because I think the car was just trying to go straight. Couldn't actually... So maybe I kind of hoped, braking hard, and hoped that Paul wouldn't be there when I got there, but unfortunately he was. So we've got 2 laps to go. Phil behind me is actually the fastest car on the track. Or he has done the fastest lap of the race. And I think most of the people that raced in UKGPL were Brits. It was obviously to keep the latency low. I think there was a couple of exceptions. Although, I mean, they had foreign sounding names, but I don't think they may have lived in England. Particularly a bit later on. I'm just struggling with that hairpin. I just cannot get it slowed down. I'm not the only one, it seems. But I'm a lap down now, anyway. Maybe there was 31 laps. And I'm only doing 30. But I'm going to get a slap on the wrist for that, right? I mean, I don't know if I'll get championship points docked because nothing happened. You know. But Phil has not really got too... Well, he's close to me now. Am I getting shown blue flags? Not yet. Well, this is the last lap, it seems. So I just seem to be able to keep ahead of Phil. Strangely. 31.5. It's matching my fastest lap of the race. Why am I racing so hard? That's what I want to know. No! You don't stop after the finish line! That's a big no-no. I mean, it's very hard to tell that he had stopped. I only noticed now. So who was that? Michael Bell just decided, oh, I'm just going to park after the finish line. And that takes out my teammate. So I believe that's the end of the race. Well, if it isn't, I'm on fire. Right, what's the bad news gonna be? What's the bad news gonna be? What do you reckon? How many penalties? Do you reckon I'm gonna get slapped with some? Let's see. I reckon I'm due a penalty. million points. Okay. Right. So, Jacob Schmidt wins. Paul Villiers is second. Look how many Coopers there are. Look how many Coopers there are. Got... It's all Coopers apart from 2 Hondas, 1 BRM, 1 Ferrari and 1 Lotus. Two people didn't even start the race. So there would have been 14 runners. But only 12 people. So I can see my name mentioned. Oh, I got docked 5 championship points. So lap 26, Enwood outbraked self and collected Paul. So I got 5 championships blocked. Oh, he's doing it in different order. Lap 1. Doug Ellison pushes several other cars, including Enwood, into the bales. Yellows have been waving for some time. Doug gets 5 championship points for dangerous driving. When was it? I don't remember that. It was so far back. my teammate supposedly, I think, is Phil Barbier. So he came third in that race. So it wasn't too bad. I was expecting more than that, but I did get penalised for what I thought I was going to get penalised for. But nothing else happened in that race apart from utter failure. So yeah. So I don't know what the next round is. Let's have a look. The next round is Zandvoort. Now we always technically should go well at Zandvoort. Technically. But I'm going to take a 2-minute break. And I'll be right back.
Long tightens, opens 80. Keep middle
Where the fuck did that corner come from?
4 right long tightens. Opens of a crest.
It looks like Matrese has gone off in Villeroy double right, P4.
Oh no!
Green flag sector 1.
Son of a bitch! I thought he would have been gone by the time I got there.
A lot of aero damage. You might need to come in and get it fixed.
That's better. This is a bad idea. Oh! Ah! No! Told you I'm jinxed. What in the holy of hell happened there? Clip it! Clip it!
50. Slow 5 left of a crescent. Into 3 right. Into 4 left small cut. Into caution. 6 right. 2 left long.
We've got a fucking rear right puncher now.
Opens 6. 3 right, very long, tightens 100.
How do I do roadside repairs? Looks like they're having as much trouble as I am. Keeping the damn thing in a straight line. That's a retirement, I think.
On your left. You are clear on the left. Car left. Clear on the left. Right side. Right side. Clear.
Someone set off the fire alarm. Ah, right, we're back. So, yeah. So the next round is Zandvoort. Now, I don't know whether this is a track that I've always gone well at, and I don't know what's going to happen in this particular race. Oh, excuse me. What I'm looking for, I want to do is looking for. Yeah, so this is the well, that screwed that up because it's on the same monitor. So it doesn't like and then you can't have any mouse interaction with it, so you've got to force quit. If you accidentally open a browser window behind the Grand Prix Legends window, it screws up. So where are we? 25th of November. That's where we're at. 2001. That's where we're at. And I did take there was a sneaky look at the results, but I didn't see the name, thankfully. I didn't want to spoil myself. So, where are we going to be lining up? And are we in a Ferrari this time? We are not. We are in a Cooper. That is strange. So I wonder why we picked the Cooper. Because I don't think it talked about it does say the token system is active, but it doesn't say that it's not applicable for Division 5. So right, who have we got ahead of us? So it's Doug Ellison ahead of us. And Nemesis at the moment. He's caused so many bloody accidents. We've got Duncan Hogbin behind us. And then John Roberts is at the back there. I had hoped that it would show me a few more cars. Surely I can see a few more cars. No, apparently not. You can see all the ones at the back. You can't see the ones in the middle of the grid. I mean, if this is reflection of what I can see, then I've got no clue. Right, let's see if I make a stonking start this time. Too bad in level with the Ferrari. Waggling around a little, but we're not going to overtake into turn 1 unless we really confident. Right. Being chased by a Honda. I don't know who that is. This is Jakob Schmidt. So it looks like, I don't know what happened with the rest of the field. A little wide into that turn. I can see Doug is leaving some black lines on the track. Now I'm going to be very vulnerable in this Cooper, so I don't know why I took a Cooper. If the token system is active, maybe I felt that maybe a Cooper might have been good to save for a faster car for other rounds. So we were in a Ferrari for Kyle Army the first round. We were in a Cooper for the round 2. And round 3 we were in a Cooper as well. So I wonder whether we're saving our tokens for a faster track. Because I'm pretty much going to be mincemeat on the straight for the faster cars in this. So, Doug Ellison has put in a fast lap time of 1:33.9. My first lap was a 1:35.2. So, was this tactics? I'm not sure. Because I liked my Ferrari. And I mean, the fact that I won the last race of the last season in the Ferrari, why didn't I take the Ferrari? It's hard to tell. Oh! Did you see a car just then? No. It was a bit of scenery. I thought there was a car. Doug has now done a 1:28.0. I've done a 1:28.7. So I'm not far off the pace in a Cooper. Still, unless something happens with Doug ahead, I think it's going to be very, very difficult to catch, particularly in a Cooper. I'm noticing a lot that do you get the car kind of waggling around in this game? It seems a little slower on this lap, or Jakob is going faster. I'm also noticing that it's like lean on the front tyres a lot. I know this tyre wear is not really a thing in this game. I mean, tyre heat was-ish. But maybe it was my driving style in this game to lead with the front a little more, a lot of understeer. So I wasn't really comfortable with a power slide too much. Or four-wheel drifting. But I mean, if I was doing this without force feedback at all, then I just don't know how I was doing it. I mean, even before I got my direct drive, when I had that other case of nostalgia for Grand Prix Legends, when I was trying to find all the files and stuff, I believe I did get it working. I got the force feedback working. I was able to drive, but it just felt so alien to me. But trying to get it working recently, even with the force feedback patch, it still didn't seem to want to start working. And I remember as well that the standard version of this track, it wasn't green. It was sandy. So, you know, bearing that in mind, that we're probably not running on the track as if it looks right now. It probably looked a lot orange. So all the hills were just sandy banks instead. So fastest lap is a 1:26.9. I've done a 1:27.6. Still losing time to the leader, but the lap times are getting quicker. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I'm in the lead. I'm in the lead. Well, Doug must have dropped it then. He must be further down the field than... Oh, you fucked it. Ah. Back down to second. Now we've got Duncan Hogbin chasing us. Now Brabham. Stay on board for a little while. So that was a mistake that took us out of the lead. Maybe I was still looking at my pit wall going, I'm in first. Maybe he disconnected. It's either that or he's far behind now, and my replay doesn't show it. So if I'm doing 1:27s, Duncan behind is doing 1:27s. So we've got a fight on our hands. And Jakob ahead is probably doing 1:27s, yeah. So we're all same kind of pace. It's just that I'm vulnerable on the straights. I don't really know why I decided to go defensive there. We're not letting this Honda get away. This is a bit more like it. After the disaster that was Monaco, we've actually got a race on our hands. And I'm actually on the pace. It does look like the Honda's pulling away though. Cooper is way better on the brakes. But we are pulling away from Duncan behind. It's an 8th lap of 27. I wonder whether a few people from the last season got demoted to the support class, if that was still a thing in this year. Because I'm noticing that there's a distinct lack of the drivers that I would have been running against in the last season. I noticed a couple of familiar faces, but there's a lot of new faces too as well. But what I'm guessing is, why did I go defensive again? Maybe I'm just showing myself in his mirror. It's not necessarily going defensive, it's me just... It does look like I'm much faster. So, I don't know what the promotion and relegation rules are, but I assume that maybe the top 3 or 4... Well, it can't be 4. Maybe it's the top 3 go up. Because I'm not seeing the top 3 in the races that I'm doing. So, in season 3, Joe Murphy was first, and it was either Derek Jones. I don't know who's second place and third place were. I mean, Kev Hammett was in the top 5, I think, but he didn't get promoted. I finished 5th in the championship. I think it's me trying to put him off, because I definitely wasn't going defensive then, because there was no one behind me. Duncan must have made a mistake. Right, is he going to get caught up in a lapped car, which gives me the opportunity to pass? We're on lap 10, so we're nearing half distance. Is something going to happen? He seems to be good at getting out the corners, whereas I'm not. But it's through the twistier sections I can catch up. Oh dear. What was that? That was Scott Dixon, or whatever his name is. Thankfully he stayed out of the way. This is a battle for the lead now. It's much faster around these sections. I can flip the car around, but once I get on the straight, I've got no chance. So I don't know whether I'm going to overtake on the brakes. If I overtake at all, Ooh, bit of moving in the braking zone there. I wonder whether we aren't first and second. Could it be that Doug has been forgotten by the server? Although when he was forgotten by the server, he did display in my replay before. so it just seemed very strange that I didn't. I mean, the camera was so close in on the car that it was probably very easy to forget or miss that maybe a car spun off. I mean, it would be a pity if we're fighting for second place rather than first, but you know. But I am ragging this Cooper. I'm having to. I've got no option. Just to hang on to the back of this Honda. See how much it pulls away on the straight. I make it up in the lap. Particularly on the brakes into turn 1. I close up so much. At 12:27. We seem to have dropped the car behind. I want to get down to our fast laps of 1:27s. I think I did a. It says I did a 1:29 the last lap. I don't know if that was the lapped car lap. Whoa, we touched the grass there. You have to be very quick on the counter steer. I just found once you got the rhythm of this place and you could throw the car in and not hit the curbs, it was such a joy. Again, we're trying to put him off. It may work eventually. Yeah, another lapped car coming up. So is that going to get in the way at an opportune moment? It just seems to be this section that he gets away. Stretches the legs of the Honda a little. I mean, we're not really going too fast, to be honest. I bet I could have got on the throttle way earlier than that. Just waiting for the Cooper engine to go pop at the moment. So I'm revving it really hard. I wonder how they decided on the characteristics of the cars. Because obviously back in 1999, there would have been a couple of drivers that you maybe could have spoke to about the handling characteristics of the cars. I mean, you would have to adjust the speeds to what they were like in the championship overall. So the Lotus was always quick but very fragile. Ferrari was quick but just didn't have the top speed of the Lotus and the Eagle. Oh, thankfully whoever that was spun to the inside there. There's another lapped car. Throwing the car in and hoping that it sticks. On that occasion it didn't. I remember when the engine swapping was a thing. It opened up a lot more possibilities of what you could do with the game. Because you could stick like a Maserati in a... Or was it a Cooper Maserati? I can't remember. But you could stick like a Ferrari engine in a Cooper. So stick with the handling of a Cooper, but have a faster engine. So there's a Honda there that pulled out. I don't know whether they were trying to let them by or not, but they didn't do a very good job. They did do a good job there though. Who was that? That was S. Rickson. So we're still in the 128s. We're not going very quick. We could be going a second or two quicker than this. I don't know if I'm ever going to push him into a mistake. Again, there's no one behind. But just cannot get off this corner quick enough to stay in the draft. Because I think even though you're in the draft, no hope of keeping up with a Honda. 17 of 27. Sometimes I find the problem is if you drive the car in front, I mean, if you drive in the wheel tracks of the car in front, then the likelihood is that you're going to get sucked in if they make a mistake. You've got to consciously make an effort to drive the track and not drive the car in front. I always find that very difficult. Because I like someone to chase, but there is something to be said for if you don't want to kind of settle into the pace that they are going, otherwise you're not actually going to pass them, are you? You're just going to go the speed they are. You've always got to think of how am I going to go faster than them, you know? Where am I quicker? Where are they slower? Always thinking in your head about the what is a moving chess game, I suppose. Do I know where this driver is weak? Have they made mistakes before when I've been behind them? Have we got history? You know, what's the strengths of my car versus their car? Are they easily flustered? So he just seems able to pull out a gap at certain points in the circuit where I just cannot get the power down, so I'm suffering in the Cooper. Lap 18 to 27. There's just not really been an opening. It just seems I've been going as fast as possible. Now there is a car that's coming up on us now. Is that Duncan creeping up on us again? In the Brabham. It is. So Duncan's been steadily putting in 127s to get back up to the back of our battle here. So it's a question of when my focus switches from the car ahead to the car behind, I suppose. But this has been full on for the entire race. Thankfully, I think that the Brabham and the Cooper are pretty well matched. Straight line speed wise, so it's not like I never really liked the upgraded Brabham. I always found that the engine sound was always a bit annoying. But I liked the Cooper because just how raw it sounded. This is as close as I've been, but again, this is the worst place to catch. Because even though I'm in the slipstream, oh, I've made him go defensive. This is the first time. Now I know I'm good on the brakes. Brake and hope. That's the first time I've actually caught him off the last corner. So I'm thinking that it was either I found some pace. I'm in the 120. That's my fastest lap of the race just then. So I have found some pace. So we must have made a tiny little mistake coming into that final section of the lap. There's one thing I've noticed about the Cooper is where he's made a mistake is it the short gear ratio. You have to shift pretty quickly. Wish I'd been closer to him then, I could have taken advantage of that. This is going to be awkward. Thankfully we might be passing this person on the straight. Who is that? Oh, there's a familiar face from last season. Annoyingly, he got in the way. And then pulls over. It's a Honda of Joe Bartlett. We lapped up to 8th place. So that sequence of lapped cars did not go in my favour. So I've got to do all that work again. But thankfully, what it did do is give me a gap to the car behind. It's either that or Duncan in the Brabham made a mistake. So I did a 129 high there. I lost 2 seconds. I seem to remember as well, all of this was before streaming, was before stuff like that. So this is literally just you in a room on your own, racing as hard as possible. You know, no audience at all. Where has that Ferrari come from? It's Doug. So Doug hasn't been disconnected. So Doug did... He's caught his way back up. He's going to get involved with 5 laps to go. Because, I mean, Doug can do, we know from his fast lap, can do 126s. We are, when we're following each other, we can only do 127s. Now I'm getting a blue flag. It says he's in third. So is the blue flag for that car ahead? Maybe it is. Again, I am close. I think I'm just out of draft range. There seems to be an abundance of Hondas on track. No sooner lapped one of them that there's another one. Right, where is this one going to get involved? Oh, that was a bit tight. So I feel like I'm in a sandwich at the moment. He seems to make mistakes a couple of corners in the last sector. Not many laps left. There we go, that's one mistake. I got too much oversteer. I wasn't able to be in this draft. Again, I've gone defensive. Again, it's a mixture of going defensive and trying to put him off ahead. I mean, you wouldn't be able to overtake him to turn 1. You need a little bit of an overspeed. I feel like something is about to happen. I'm definitely cooking up these corners a little bit better. It's just when I get a little bit of oversteer on the corner exit, then I just lose all of the ground I've gained. Like that. That was a bit too much. throw is a little closer than he was. I just want to press the throttle to make myself go faster. Again, I felt the need to go because I just think I'm going to be swamped on the straight there. Oh, no. No. I fucked it. That was me, wasn't it? It was just such a... Because I was always good on the brakes. Always good on the brakes. I think I just braked way too late. And I'm running out of road here. Now, what would you have done if you're the car ahead, right? You can see me in the mirror. You can see that I'm getting closer and closer and closer. You can see that I'm gaining, but would you stay wide? I probably would have stayed wide and tried to keep the momentum. Because it's very rare that you can actually get up the inside here because the outside line's so strong. So that kind of screws up the battle. I'm now down to 4th. Because 2 cars have gone through, plus the car I hit. So, yep, there's another slap on the wrist coming my way. That's another few championship points down the Swanee. But I mean, once you've started to brake, you just got to keep braking and hope you stop. It's not like you can change the direction or anything. So I basically just gifted those 2 of those drivers 2 positions. I knew something was going to happen. It's a pity, really. We've got 2 laps to be able to catch up. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. Yeah, so we braked probably 50 meters too late, I think. Because I'm braking just as I enter the tyre. The rubber line. We caught up quite quickly. I'm not letting off the gas. I'm absolutely ragging this Cooper. You just lose it all when you have that tiny little moment there. So we've got 1 lap after this. So close, one of the closest I've ever been here. Shouldn't have lifted. Should have just kept going. Probably too afraid to run into the back of him. Now I know that I'm good on the brakes, so I'm not going for the overlap. So I'm going for... Yeah. So I outdrove him there. I outdrove him. So the idea, I think, was I was going to go down the outside. So I didn't want to be probably up his rear because I know from every single lap previous that I'm able to brake quicker. Or I'm better on the brakes. So coming down here, this was a little close. I don't know what it looks like, chase cam. That was a little too close. And I was like, well, I could keep it around the outside, but I've got the wider line. So this is all ready for the cutback. Thank you very much. Now don't screw it up. I finally, after what, 26 laps, I finally got past him. But the other two are just way too far ahead. No, 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 no. Where did he go? Is he disconnected? It seems to be a pattern that I get past someone and then so thankfully he had an accident at the same time as me. I was let off the hook a bit there. But it seemed to be a pattern. I'm so excited that I got past someone and then I have my own moment and then just give it back. But that last lap I did when I passed was my fastest lap of the race at 27.4. So I'm going to get a podium, I think. But that was full on for the entire race, staring at the back of another car, kind of thinking, well, how am I going to pass this car? And very, very difficult. So that was a well-earned third place, I thought. I was thinking that maybe I'd accidentally finished the race too early there. That's happened before. Recently. So that was a bit up and down, wasn't it? I mean, it's just a pity that I'm going to have gained some championship points and I'm going to have lost some championship points. But yeah. There you go. Let's see what the stewards have to say. I'm sure maybe I'll only get 5 championship points knocked off because of the fact that I gave the position back. Oh, I didn't overtake them. It wasn't like I had a choice not to give the position back. Right, so let's look at the result. So it was Doug that came back to claim the win. Duncan Hogbin thankfully overtook us. 2 people having an argument on track. I still get 3rd. And Jacob actually came back to 5th after that off on the last lap. So the only common is lap 25. Rear ending, 5 championship points. I don't know how many championship points I actually gained, but 5 championships off. So it says that PJG Tech is called Peter Gag. So no other incidents, but it was full on for the entire race. So, but that's the first 3 rounds of the first 3 rounds of what will be a 6-round championship between 2001 and 2002. So the next round is at Spa, which is on the 9th of December 2001. So it is. We did do it in the evening because it says 9 o'clock. So it does look like we've got like 13 or 14 drivers in the league. I'm going to save that as a bookmark so I can come back to that. Where am I going to save it? Let's save that in a GPL folder, so I can put all the other ones in there as well. So yeah, I've got so many bookmarks. I'm surprised that the admin hasn't got back to me about the GTL replays. Maybe I'll message them direct. I mean, I don't even know if I can get GTL and GTR running, because you end up having to I think there's like there's GT Legends and GTR Anniversary editions. Actually, I don't know if GTR has got one. GTR 2 had one, but you have to obviously prove that you've bought it. So you either insert the CD or you I think you prove it with a Steam code or something, because I've got all of mine on Steam. Although I think I still have the discs of those games, because they started on discs. Because I think this was around the time that Steam was a thing. So I think you basically got a disc and you just redeemed it on Steam, which just seemed really, really pointless. But it was around the time when they started doing that stuff. So all the stuff that you got on the disc seemed just superfluous. What was the point? What was the point? Okay, so I think I've moved all my bookmarks over. Yeah. Cool. Right, I think we're going to be back tomorrow. So I'll be doing I've got my grocery delivery tomorrow. And I've not timed it well with the racing I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So we're going to be racing for round 4 of the WEC Championship, and it's going to be Interlagos, or Sao Paulo if you want to call it that. And we should be, if I just check the just check the championship. because the times have changed, so I want to check that I'm actually turning up at the right. So it's the same. So the race is 20 past 8, so the stream technically start at 7:30. So hopefully we have a better go at it than we did in the last rounds, and I think Sao Paulo is going to be very, very difficult to let the hypercars pass, because I think in the first couple of rounds I was like kind of a bit narked. I haven't done my next stream thing. Oh no, I have next stream in 1 day and 1 hour. I was a bit kind of annoyed at the way some of the hypercars were treating some of the GT3s. So I reviewed replays for the first 2 rounds. But then I've kind of come to a point where I'm just not. I don't want to sit there and go through a replay just to check about the. And I know that obviously it means that they don't get penalised when they do something egregious, because some of them were taking the piss. You know, they had the big long straights and things, and you would be 3/4 of the way across the track, but they decided not to pass on the big space of 3/4 of the track. They decided that passing on the tiny little space on the other side would be the best way forward. I just don't understand it. It wouldn't lose them any time. So it's just, I think some of them were like, I don't want to lift. So as long as I can get through without lifting, because they don't think a corner ahead. So it's racing laziness is what it is. But after Le Mans, I was just like, I don't really want to go through the process of I mean, unless anything egregious happens. Well, the penalties came in for the last round of the historic sports car championship. The person that rear-ended me on lap 2 got a penalty for the next round, which is good to see. The accident that happened the previous round at the Nürburgring, the driver that I had to come in together with got a warning for dangerous driving. I can't remember what the term was. But let's pop over to Ben. He's doing some IMSA vintage. If I can find my raid button. So my teammate and my moderator. Yeah, let's say hello to Ben. Back tomorrow at 7:30. Let's hopefully it's a good race. I need a good race. So yeah. Looks like he's at Jerez. That should be fun. I think he's racing. So yeah. Let's go raid Ben. Yep. So I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. See you later.